John Cena and Travis Scott, future plans revealed. Plus, we have backstage details on an AEW return, and a DX Hall of Famer is appearing at TNA Rebellion. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. WrestleMania 41 in the distance at this point. John Cena winning the WWE Undisputed title with help from Travis Scott.
And not Dwayne.
Travis Scott, who didn't really do a run-in as opposed to a saunter-in.
Yeah, he sort of took his time. You know?
Yeah, and then the last shot of one of the last shots of WrestleMania is John Cena with the WWE title, then Travis Scott with that admittedly quite cool looking modern day hardcore title.
Yeah.
Admittedly good. What is to be expected from Travis Scott? We had heard reports previously that Travis Scott was training to compete in a wrestling match. Corey Hayes of PWN and Body Slam reports that they've been informed there is a pitch for John Cena and Travis Scott to work as a tag team and work a tag team match together at some point this year. Nothing concrete as of now.
It's not surprising. WWE likes to utilize celebrities in a more dynamic manner now, maybe than they have in the past. Of course, they've used celebrities in matches, but it felt like they very much got a specific training for a few key moments and then the rest of the match happens, right? So it's not surprising that following things like Logan Paul's successful jump into WWE, Bad Bunny, that they're going to want Travis Scott in a ring, right? So to me, if he is aligned with Cena, if Cena is aligned with Rock, I was sort of hoping Seth and Heyman would align with them and it would be like a weird power group. But no, we've got something else going on there.
A new dangerous alliance.
But, well, yeah, maybe. But at the same time, yeah, I don't think it's going to be like a long term. He's going to be, like on TV every week, working tag matches. But I think for maybe a few key matches, we're going to see Travis Scott in there. And it makes sense to tag him with somebody like Cena, right?
Oh, yeah, obviously, because it would be one of Cena's final appearances. Obviously, we're on the countdown. It's less than 30 appearances left for Cena as champion.
And then he's going to retire into the sunset with the belt.
That's what he's saying. Someone's got to win it pretty quick.
He's going to have to bring back the old one. The winged eagle, unless he brings back the spinner. Oh dear.
He lobs the spinner belt on the ramp just as he leaves.
There you go, you can have that one.
You can have that one instead. Potentially the return of the spinner belt. Speaking of returns, this past Wednesday on Dynamite TE, Stokely Hathaway came back, didn't he, Sam?
He did, looking fetching in his red tracksuit.
And I really like him teaming with FTR. I think that's a really nice combo.
Yeah, and it does tie back to when he was sort of looking over tapes way back. He was watching back Briscoe's FTR matches, so that does tie in storyline-wise. This has been sort of bubbling away in Stokely's mind for a while.
It does indeed, and you're absolutely on the money because Fightful Select are reporting that the idea of Stokely teaming with FTR goes back a good while. It was close to coming to fruition last year, and those bits backstage, them watching tapes and making notes.
Yeah, they were always kind of dramatically shot. He'd come into a room, he'd look over some like discs with labels on them, and then he'd sit down, and just as he goes to start watching, it cuts out.
And that was gonna be something that we saw sooner than we have now.
Yeah.
However, according to Fightful Select, those we've spoken to say this was broached last year, and we're told the creative on the situation was adjusted when the Outrunners got hot, and the decision was made to have them involved with FTR instead. There was a short partnership with the Outrunners and FTR.
Well, it's just the dynamic nature of wrestling, isn't it? It's sort of it changes rapidly, and you've got to be able to adjust to things like that. But it doesn't mean you can't circle back. So I'm happy that we have finally landed here. I'm looking forward to seeing where we're going to go with it, especially with the all-new, nasty, horrible FTR.
TNA Rebellion this weekend, and we had a classic TNA gimmick return on Impact in the build to one of the feature matches on the show, didn't we?
Yes, so the Nemeths made the eternally poor decision to visit the Hardy compound. So they were going to confront the champions ahead of their tag team match at Rebellion, but it sort of went off the rails, as things do when you arrive at the Hardy compound. Nemeth soon found himself wandering the grounds through the woods in the dark, and he encountered Willow. Jeff Hardy's alter ego.
Yes!
So Willow had an umbrella, and he busted out a Not Like Us dance before just disappearing into thin air, which was weird, just sort of leaving the trademark umbrella there, getting blown over by the wind.
So good.
But it sort of just went mental from there. You had Ryan Nemeth reliving past trauma as a stand-up comic in a hallucination brought on by being drowned by Matt Hardy. Nick put Jeff Hardy through tables with a backdrop off a pickup truck, and then at the end, Nick Nemeth stole the tag titles, grabbed his brother, and fled. And then we sort of had the return of Jeff Hardy as Brother Nero, sort of walking up to see them running away with the titles.
Oh, the silliness from my friends at TNA. Big fan. You're not so much.
I want whatever you're smoking.
I could sort that if you want. So I'm excited to see what they do with the Nemesis and the Hardys at the World Tag titles at Rebellion. Now also at Rebellion, a big old NXT representation, because Fatal Influence is going to be on the Countdown show. JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix. They're facing Zaya Brookside, Lei Ying Lee, and Rosemary. We had a brawl last night on Impact. And this has led to a 6-man match set up by Santina Morella for the Countdown show tomorrow.
But we also have an ex-WWE star added to the Ultimate X match as well. So after an impressive showing against X-Division champion Moose at Unbreakable, Sidney Akeem, the former Scripts or Reggie, has been added to the Ultimate X match at tomorrow night's Rebellion event. He's going to be challenging Moose for the X-Division title along with KC Navarro, Matt Cardona, Vikingo, and Leon Slater.
Go on, do it, Leon Slater. Obviously, I'm excited to see Sidney Akeem in there. What a guy who's built for the Ultimate X match.
Yeah, like he's just capable of doing insane things with physics and gravity. So I'm looking forward to seeing like him in there with Leon especially. He's going to be just mind bending.
It's going to be a hell of a lineup, that one. Also confirmed for Rebellion on TNA Plus. Elijah and a mystery opponent. So Elijah's in action, but who's across the ring from him is TBC at this point.
Randy Orton.
Oh, could you imagine? That'd be amazing. Revenge from my mate show. Mike Santana and Mustafa Ali in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
I hope it's a classic Falls Count Anywhere match, like the Randy Savage Crush one, where you got to just get somebody as far away from the ring as possible, pin them in the car park, and then lock all the doors so they can't get back to the ring by the count of 10. We've got Ash by Elegance and Heather by Elegance defending the Knockouts tag titles against the Metaphor, Spitfire, and Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley.
Steve Macklin defending his newly won international title.
So blue and so lovely.
If anyone asking, because I did that Smash or Pass video on titles a little while ago, for people who have asked, the TNA international title, Smash.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Defending against Eric Young.
We got Masha Slamovich facing Tessa Blanchard for the Knockouts world title.
And WrestleMania's own Joe Hendry defends his TNA world title against Frankie Kazarian and NXT's Ethan Page.
Let's go ahead. He's Mr. WrestleMania. Nobody's ever been called that. No. That's Joe Hendry's now.
He was nearly undefeated at WrestleMania until he was defeated. Try harder next time, Joe, just saying. And among all that, we're getting a DX and an NWO Hall of Famer on the show, aren't we?
We are. So Sean Waltman has once again crossed the line. So he's going to be there this weekend as the System gear up to face the Rascals and Ace Austin in 6-man action. He's been brought in to be the corner man for the latter team. It's been over 10 years since we've seen him in the Impact Zone.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him back. It's been a lovely week for Sean Waltman. He became a granddad this week. Good on X-Pac becoming a granddad.
X-Pac.
Granddad Pac.
That's a pretty mental granddad to have.
It is a good granddad to have. Yeah, so that's that. Rebellion shaping up to be a good one. You can watch it on TNA Plus. Again, in case you're wondering if this is the first video you've watched in a while, you've gone, that ain't defense that I'm used to.
What's going on?
No offense to you.
I like that. No offense.
No offense. So downstairs there is shenanigans taking place.
Yes, we are setting up Hell in a Smell 6. If you keep it with us here, we will have all of the information as and when we know it's ready to go. Keep an eye on our socials, keep an eye on the channel, but I can confirm to you, and we say this every time, but there is a need to sort of ramp it up. This is by far and away the worst one we have ever thought of. It's bad.
It's
really bad.
I walked into a room where you guys were talking about it, you and Andrew, and something was said, and even Andrew looked pale at the thought of it. And so I don't know what Adam's going to make of it, I'll be honest.
There's been a steady stream of deliveries. There's a lot of things going into this one, God. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled because you don't want to miss it. It's going to be a pretty hard thing to miss, though, I can tell you that much.
And for the very latest wrestling news around that and at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.